up, everybody? This is the Anime Squad Podcast, episode 39. My name is Robbie.
And this is Omar.
And this is David.
And we finally got the boys back.
Yeah.
After the first time in about a month or so?
Yeah, a month or so now, man. It's good to be reunited again.
Absolutely, yeah. And just in time for a new year. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, guys.
Yeah.
Hope you guys had a safe and wonderful time. And then we look to a brighter future to 2021.
Indeed. And to kick the year off, unfortunately, we're in that weird in-between of the fall season and the upcoming winter season, so there's not really any new anime to talk about at all, actually. Nothing's come out, and all the shows that we've been reviewing thus far have all ended last week, so...
Except for a couple, I know Attack on Titan, that's still going on, so we push that. We're going to push that for next week.
Right.
So look forward to that.
Yeah. So you guys might be wondering, what are we going to be talking about? Well, we decided that of doing a top 5 list for the year 2020.
Yeah.
Special episode.
Yep, and we're going to be giving you guys our top 5s for the previous year that passed.
Yeah, so we have different categories, and if you're not interested in this one, you could skip ahead and go to the next one.
We got timestamps, of course, like we do usually with all our other shows and such.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys can skip ahead and and for now, enjoy the show.
Yeah, hell yeah. So let's kick things off with top 5 disappointing animes of 2020, man.
Go, Robbie.
And Robbie, you go first.
I'll start things off since I wasn't here last year, I guess, technically. So top 5, starting off from number 5, I picked Standing on a Million Lives for number 5. Yeah, it was... So the reason why it's so low on the list, and I actually had to, for number 4 and 5, I had to actually look through kind of a lot of what I thought was kind of disappointing to me, and I picked Standing on a Million Lives for myself for number 5, and the main reason why is because around episode 3, I remember I was I gave the show the benefit of the doubt. I was like, hey, let's continue it. Mm-hmm. And I was basically like the second man to continue the show, and somewhat regret it. Seeing on how the show progressed to where it ended up on wasn't fun.
No,
wasn't
if
fun.
I like to say bad.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say as well too. We're gonna do like 5s,
Okay.
4s, 3s.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we'll be 5 5s and then 4 4s.
Yeah, so you get everybody's different. Robbie's top 5, Omar's top 5, and then David's top 5.
Yep. So that's how we're gonna be doing things.
Yeah.
But yeah, to continue, Standing on a Million Lives. Again, like as far as isekai premises go, the main thing it had going for it was the fact that you die in the game, you don't die in real life, and I thought they were going to be doing more creative things with it. But what ended up happening wasn't all that great. I don't know, there was just a lot of problems in general. It's by no means a bad anime, in my opinion. It was just more so a boring one, and in a lot of ways a boring anime is just worse than a bad one, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So you enjoyed the premise, but you did not like the presentation.
I didn't like the presentation, and I thought I was going to like the characters, because I thought that the main character, Yotsuya, I thought he was going to be over his edgy state, but it didn't happen. Did not happen at all. So that's just my take on it.
Oh, yeah.
Omar?
Yeah, I can see that. For me, for number 5, 4 and 5 could be switched here and there, in my opinion. But with number 5, I like to start with Talentless Nana.
Okay.
It had a great beginning to the show, and how like they didn't introduce us to the main character until like the end of the first episode, because how the episodes played out, like we got a view of a character who we think is going to be the main character,
Right.
but it ended up switching the table, and I thought that was a very cool twist and very cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
But as the show later progressed, it kind of went to the formulaic bad guy of the week routine, and like you knew like Nana was not in trouble, or like some outcomes became predictable, And I don't know, like I expected more from this show, and I think it might get a second season. How the way it ended, but if it does, I'm not looking forward to it, honestly.
Yeah.
So that's just my take on it. If you like it, then more power to you. But it just sucked. What about you, David?
For me, disappointing in a way, but I'm not. It's not like I hate the show. I really enjoyed the show, but I have a lot of things that disappointed me in general. So my fifth one is Decadence. Because it went from like what you were expecting to unexpected, and then it just flipped everything all over.
Right.
And the thing that I really did not like as much is that there was no sense of who's the main character in that show. There was a moment where it's the girl,
Yeah.
but then it'll switch to the guy. I forgot his name. But either or.
Kaburagi.
Kaburagi. Yeah, it just kept going back and forth. I'm like, who am I supposed to care? I guess I'd care for both of them, but I was losing interest on the girl because it paid attention more to the guy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, God.
Yeah, Natsume was kind of marketed as like the main character, but
character.
Kaburagi was the more prominent figure.
Nah, yeah, he was the main character of that story.
So
I'd say.
that was like the most disappointing of that show in general. And I guess that's why I put it at 5 for me.
Okay, interesting.
Don't hate the show as much now that I think about it over time, but
Right.
that's the main reason why it was disappointing to me.
All right.
And now we move on to number 4s. So it's kind of funny that your number 5 was Talentless Nana, because I actually picked that one as my number 4.
Oh, damn.
And that was kind of the same thing. I was thinking which one I was gonna switch around. And the main reason why Talentless Nana beat over Standing on a Million Lives is because, as far as my expectations go, I had my expectations on Talentless Nana more slightly than I did with Standing on a Million Lives. And the main reason why is because I was kind of with you. I was kind of on board with you. The first episode was really captivating. I really, really enjoyed the bait and switch that they did with who the main character was and what the whole premise was about. But I guess like around episode 3 or 4, I kind of had the same problems that you had, but with me, I actually didn't. This might be a first that I've said on the podcast here, but I actually don't like the main character that much, Nana.
Yeah. I know. We talked about it.
Yeah, we did talk about it like privately, but I don't think I ever mentioned it here on the podcast. But yeah, I'm gonna say right now, I'm not a super fan of Nana. I just think that she's like an edgelord, just for the sake of being edgy and stuff. She's like, oh, I'm gonna do my job.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. And I was kind of like thought of her as kind of like an antagonist. But then like later on, of course, they made her more human. But then we also had the inverse problem where, of course, like you said, it was more formulaic, everything. And what I also didn't like was the fact that they made the kids. Like, they sort of justified the kids that, the later, I guess, bad guys, the later monster flavor of the week. Of how they later justified them being, bad guys. Like,
they were
Sunikichi was,
they were unlikable.
They were unlikable, but, like, they weren't, like, progressively built up like that. They were just sort of, like, you were just dropped in. That, they're unlikable. Like the girl that we thought had super strength, that turned out she was like really the necromancer.
Yeah.
Turns out she was actually evil. She's the one that got her the boy that she was stalking killed on purpose so that she can control her body.
Yeah.
So stuff like that. Again, the show's still like perfectly watchable. And then towards the end, the show also became more interesting because it added more elements, it added more depth to Nana's character, and just character progression as a whole, character development as a whole. But I feel like a lot of the seeds that they planted just it didn't live up to kind of what they were sort of setting up for.
Yeah. Like the beginning is just like you expect more to happen.
Yeah.
But like it just doesn't live up to it.
Exactly, and that middle was just way too boring.
Yeah.
Too. So that's the reason why it's on my number 4. Again, it's perfectly watchable. I might even peep out to see if they ever get a second season, but for now, like I said, this is my number 4 spot, Talentless Nana.
I agree with you, man. I agree with you. That's kind of like where I float. But for me, my number 4 has to be Listeners.
Okay.
Yeah, man. When I first heard the premise of this anime, Listeners, I was on board, man. Like you guys know me. I love music. I love the mech genre, and the mech genre has just been like on a hiatus. I don't know where the hell it's at.
Honestly, yeah.
Other than Gundams, so I was excited to see what Listeners had to bring to the table.
Mm-hmm.
And when we first saw the first episode, I was like, okay, it's an interesting world they set up, but we'll see where it goes from there. And then after the 2 episodes, I was like, nah, I don't know. These characters I'm not that interested in.
Yeah.
They don't seem that appealing to me, and like there's really not a music element to it. It's just like a big womp. And I don't know, man. I feel like they should have like made the characters more stand out, and I don't know. It just didn't feel right to me. So we ended up dropping it like 3 episodes in, and yeah, man, it was just disappointing. I wish I love the concept of it, but it just wasn't there, man. Oh well. What about you, David?
All right, for me, number 4 is Gleipnir.
Gleipnir.
Oh man.
Yep. I was excited for this show. The trailer itself looked pretty cool. The whole concept of this story was awesome too. Him transforming into like this mascot kind of.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It was different.
But God, this show dragged on so much.
Oh, yeah.
And we didn't get nowhere as much.
That whole middle part of the anime is just for nothing.
Yeah, for nothing. There was cool scenes, action scenes, but damn, man.
Yeah.
There was some likable characters, but at the same time, I'm like, damn, why is it so slow?
Yeah.
You know what's worse is that after we finished watching the anime, I decided to read up on the manga. And I hate to say this, but the manga, this is unfortunately one of those cases where it actually follows the manga really well.
Oh no.
And yeah, the manga is also just as slow.
Oh man, that's terrible to hear, man.
Not a great sign, yeah. And it's even now it's just like the anime that it covered, it was barely caught up to where the manga was.
Yeah, so that's why I'm disappointed on this show in general. I was looking forward to it, and it just dropped on me.
Damn.
And that is my fault.
Nice. I mean, not nice, but
Rabbit.
Yeah. No, number 3 for me is No Guns Life Season 2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I know. So, here's the thing. So, I actually quite enjoyed No Guns Life, as a whole, Season 2 included. But Season 2 just felt like it felt like nothing happened, honestly. Like, I love the world. I love... Like I really enjoy the characters, and like I think the premise and everything is just great. Yeah. And the first season I thought was a pretty like great introduction to just the world of No Guns Life in general. But season 2 I felt like barely did anything with it. It felt like a good majority of the show was just filler and flashbacks.
Yep.
Like, oh my goodness, the flashbacks were just rampant. It felt like, and because of that, it felt like nothing was happening. Nope. I like the fact that they introduced Mary's estranged brother, Victor. I like that. I like a lot of what they brought to the table in the beginning, and I like what they did at the end. But the process to get there, oh my goodness, it's like a lot of this could have been just cut out and just made into like an OVA series or something. Just cut all of that out.
No, I agree with you, man. Like I think Juzo's a very badass character.
Yeah, Juzo's great.
But it's just that whole middle part, the whole flashback.
It was
so yeah, that's your 3, huh?
That is my 3. Yeah, I overall I did enjoy season 3 for what it had. But I think especially as a follow-up season to No Guns Life, and it's also still done by Madhouse. I think in my opinion that was like that was a shoo-in for like a spot as one of the most disappointing anime.
Yeah, I feel you. I understand.
Yeah. Right, Omar?
For me, number 3, man, might come to surprise to some of you hearing this, but it would be Seen Yesterday for me.
Oh.
I remember when we first covered it, I was in love with this anime.
Yeah, we were.
I think it, like, the ideas, the topics it covered was like I never seen anything before, and it cut it deep with me. So, but why is it on my disappointing list?
Go for it, man.
The ending of this show was rushed. I feel like we didn't get a big payoff. I feel like they just automatically just became a couple. They got the resolution and we had a happy ending. And I was like, what about the big lead up? What about the problems, the struggles of a relationship going on ahead? Like, and then the female lady, she just ends up with the younger brother of her dead brother. Like, what?
And it was funny too because like you won because you were on the Haru bandwagon.
Yeah, I was, and she got it, but I didn't feel satisfied because like I felt like they just threw it in there. I was like, yeah, okay, we don't know how to end this show, so yeah, he's with Haru, and I'm like, I'm glad, but at the same time, I'm not really. I'm just, like, you could have done it so much better. It felt rushed. Like, you rushed it. Like, you should have had like at least more episodes or fleshed out like more plot to it. But that was like a nail in the coffin for me. I was just
and I did my research on this one a little bit too.
No, I did too.
Yeah.
And apparently the manga is the same thing. Like the writer himself also rushed it. So I'm like, I guess they did a good adaptation.
A little bit too good, I guess.
Yeah. So that's my 3, man. Your turn, David.
Guess what? I have the same one.
Oh man, dude.
No Guns Life season 2.
Oh.
Nope,
interesting.
I was expecting more from this show. You know, the first season ended off good. It's not like action blast and everything, but it was the interesting stories from season 1. And then on season 2 there was interesting stories, but there was too much flashbacks, and then it kind of recapped with last season that we didn't need it.
Yeah, no, we didn't.
Nope.
We had an episode that really didn't even matter. It was the comedic episode with
with the pervert.
Yeah,
the barbershop
Yeah,
thing.
it was stupid.
It was so dumb.
It was stupid.
They should have balanced the comedic part in the episode, but they made it serious, and then they're like, haha, funny, and then and then oh god, this show. I still enjoy it. I enjoy the I guess little arcs that we watched.
Yeah.
Especially with Mary.
Oh yeah, I feel like Mary got a lot of development out of it for sure.
Yeah, and then the one that got to me was the scene with the mercenary dude, the one that needed to help his family.
Oh, from season 1, yeah.
Yeah.
Colt.
Yeah, Colt.
Colt, yeah.
So that they brought that back too, just to give some background for our main protagonist.
Yeah, I remember.
Kid. Yeah. But yeah, our other than the what's his name?
Juzo?
Yuzo, yeah.
Yeah, Juzo.
We learned a little bit more about the kid more.
Oh,
on this season, and that was cool. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
For what it is, but just too much flashback.
It's crazy too because Tetsuro, despite them having like a lot more background with him, he didn't show up as much as he did in season 1. He was a mainstay character in season 1, but he was only here for like half the season.
Like the end of the season. Honestly.
End of season 2, yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, now moving on.
One more thing, I wanted to see that scene where they fought, on the rooftop, and then just blacks out, and then all of a sudden we just see the aftermath.
Ah, that's true. That was super disappointing. I forgot about that one.
Yeah, they're gonna fight in the rooftop.
the one between Juzo and number 6, I think. Yeah. That was.
You're right. Oh my god, I completely forgot about that. Because they were like already on the floor, like, and they did like one punch.
That was. I feel like that That I'm glad you reminded me. That fight alone deserves a spot.
But yeah, so that is my 3.
Yeah.
Interesting. All
All
right.
right, now moving on to number 2s. This might be a surprise to you guys, but for me, it's Shin Sakura Wars, the Sakura Wars anime.
Wow.
So
I knew it was
alright.
gonna be bad.
All right, so I've always wanted to, so a little bit of background. My main experience with Sakura Wars is through, I guess, same thing with you, Omar, was
Yeah.
through Project Cross Zone.
Yeah.
Project Cross Zone introduced me to a lot of different franchises that I didn't know too much about.
Yeah.
And Sakura Wars was one of those that I really wanted to dip my toes more into.
Yeah, they have very cool characters.
Yeah.
Representing their.
And I also have friends that are also big fans of the Sakura Wars series in general, and I've unanimously always heard that, oh yeah, Sakura Wars, oh that game would make a perfect anime.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, like, Shin Sakura Wars, the new Sakura Wars game was gonna get an anime adaptation, I thought that's perfect.
Yeah,
mechs.
mechs.
Mechs, and then the main characters are all designed by Tite Kubo, the creator of Bleach. I'm like, that's awesome. I'm down for that. That's like 2 different things. I'm like super on board for it.
Yeah.
And if it's basically an anime, then what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, and what happened?
Oh my goodness, it was it wasn't like terrible, but like it felt like nothing was happening. It was like it's another Standing on a Million Lives situation, which thankfully, we didn't decide to continue on this one.
Yeah.
We dropped this one after 3 episodes.
It was very cookie cutter kind of anime formulaic lines
Like
going
you got the tired main character. You got like your main cast of characters. I was trying to remember like all the descriptions you had before when we first saw them.
Oh.
The ninja girl and like the
Ninja girl.
dark skin kind of like
Yeah.
pouty one.
Yeah.
They all look great, but like it's just like nothing's just there. It just feels like it was just kind of produced in a machine. They're like, oh, we got this game. Here's the anime. Now, I can't say for sure how the game is like because I haven't played it. I think, David, you played Shin Sakura Wars,
played
right?
some of it.
You played some of it,
okay.
yeah. So we're not too familiar with like the Sakura Wars at all, or even in this title. But yeah, I feel like this if it's a great game, that's awesome. But this does not do it justice.
Yeah, I feel like if anything, it pushed you away more from the game.
Yeah.
Hey man, I completely forgot about that anime, honestly.
Omar.
For my number 2, we just saw this one recently. Onyx Equinox.
Yeah.
And for me, this one cuts deep. Like I said last week, I love the lore. I love everything that's about Latin American mythology. It's very interesting, very cool. It's just that the voice acting in that show and like the characters themselves are just not that interesting.
We could all agree with that.
Yeah, they're not likable, and sometimes I just want to stab my eyeballs. Like animation wise is okay, nothing to write about, but there are some moments you're like, oh, whoa, fix that real quick. But yeah, man. But I really had high hopes for this show. I remember we covered it last year, in the beginning of last year.
We did,
and
yeah.
I was very excited for this show. Like I was like, let's go. We finally got a Latin American mythology anime. Let's do this. And then I love the visuals. I love what gods that were presented and like the people. But other than that, man, I didn't like who I was watching with. Like the people, like the whiny main character, the side characters I could give 2 craps about, and the only character I liked was the Jaguar guy.
Yaudel, yeah.
Yeah, he was so cool. I'm glad he had a flashback story. But yeah, man, that's my number 2, man. The more I talk about it, the more sad I am.
Hey,
What about you, David?
For me, Psychopaths 3.
Whoa,
Oh, we didn't even cover this one.
Yeah, this is all on you, bro.
Yeah, I had high expectations on this show so much. Well, it wasn't even that long of a show. I forgot how many episodes in general.
Okay.
But it was like an hour long.
Yeah, each episode, right?
Each episode and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why they did that, but yeah. The characters I didn't like as much. Our main from the other 2 seasons were there, but they were just they were the background.
Oh, this is a new cast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Psychopaths 3, they introduced a whole new cast, and like the
And
ones
then
we know and love. They're
Omar's favorite character ended up becoming the boss.
but she barely shows up sometimes.
Yeah.
She's also in the background.
Most of the characters that we enjoyed are just background characters. And
Yeah.
the new characters are they were okay.
No.
I didn't even finish the show in general because that's how bored.
So my question is that would you say that like if this was, instead of this being introduced as season 3, if this was introduced as like a side season, do you think it'd be less disappointing?
I don't know.
I think maybe that 3 moniker might have been that cut.
Because I know Psychopaths, they had like the 3 movies and then the show.
Those were awesome.
Oh, okay. So you like the 3 movies?
Yeah, the movies were amazing. I enjoyed it.
Okay. Yeah, that's. I need to actually go back to watch that. I haven't finished it either.
The first movie was but the other 3 were cool.
All right.
And then
That's your number 2?
That's my number 2. My really disappointing.
All right, man. Now
For
we're on
sure
the number
that
1.
Oh man, number 1. All right. So prepare your butts. You guys all probably know this, but my number 1 pick, my number 1 most disappointing anime of 2020 is Jibiate.
Oh man.
All right, now I can go into full detail about this one. All right, so
What?
the number 1 draw for me, and this is of course no secret, is the fact that Yoshitaka Amano, aka the character designer for all the classic Final Fantasy games, he was the main art director for a lot of brilliant IPs such as, the movie Angel's Egg, the manga for Vampire Hunter D, all these great things, right? And his name was on Jibiate.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking, wow, that's fantastic. I'm actually super looking forward to this.
Yeah, I remember. We always talk after the podcast like, I'm looking forward to this anime.
Yeah, and it honestly, this is like, I didn't mean for this to like, be like, just not only disappointing, but I actually don't like this anime at all. It was so plummeting. It just so happens to be also my number 1 disappointing anime. If I had a top 5 worst list too, this would also probably be number 1 as well. It's just that bad. My expectations were like, again, it's probably my fault. I should have known better. That I probably should have looked into like who else was making it.
Yeah.
I just saw Yoshitaka Amano's name. I thought the character designs looked cool. The teaser trailers I saw, didn't look bad. I thought, you know what? I could give this a shot. The premise looks also interesting too.
Yeah.
Oh, what, Sengoku era, like, ninjas and like samurai and stuff coming back into the present, seeing that the future is all messed up.
Yeah.
Monsters and stuff.
Let's go.
That looks pretty cool. Yeah, exactly. Let's go. And then, oh my goodness, the CG in the first episode.
That's what they were hiding.
Oh, that's the ugly thing they were hiding.
The animation was garbage.
The animation, yeah. And then, like, the characters, I don't give a damn about. Not even the main character, because the main character has no character at all. Now, all the side characters barely do anything. They act stupid. And, like, when they get killed off, they have like a good 5-6 minutes just like dedicated to like, oh man, look at this old man. Let's put his face on the sky. Yeah. It's so awful. And I didn't even finish that. I didn't even finish the show.
Yeah, we as a group we stopped at 3.
We stopped at 3, but then we decided.
We were dying on like the first 2, and we're like, oh my gosh, should we continue?
I was thinking of continuing it, but then the guys had to stop me. They were like, no, Robbie, don't torture yourself anymore.
Yeah.
Don't do it, man.
Yeah, don't. I'm glad you didn't.
It wasn't even like haha, like oh
Thankfully,
this is ugly, like oh god, this is.
We had an outlet to spoil ourselves with. And it's worse than the first 3 episodes we saw. I was dying, laughing, and so glad that we're like, okay, I'm happy we didn't continue this because this was just painful to watch. So yeah, Jibiate, number one disappointing anime, number one and probably the worst anime I've seen this year.
Or ever.
I wouldn't even doubt if this anime shows up in my top 5 list for the decade. Honestly, it's just that bad.
Yeah, bro. I think we can all agree with you on that, bro. Like, Jimiate was. It scarred all of us.
It just sucks. It's more painful because of the fact I had expectations for it.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
That's why he's that's his number.
That's my number one disappointing anime of the season, so of the year. So yeah.
We'll stop. We'll stop.
I'll stop. Yeah, go ahead, Omar. You continue. Take the pain away.
What's your number one?
You guys already said it, man. But my number one, honestly, is No Guns Life season 2.
Oh, that's your number one.
That's my number one, and the reason why is the first season I did not finish, but you guys convinced me to watch the first season, so I was like, okay. And the first season did not impress me. I was like, okay, the character Juzo's cool, the world is alright, but the story was meh at best. Let's see season 2. And my God, was I wrong. Like, again.
That would sting more.
Like, again, Juzo, great character. I like the characters. The world's cool. But that whole middle arc is unforgiving. That thing is so boring. There was times when we were watching it together, I was falling asleep in the show, man.
Yeah.
It was so boring, so bad. And like, I'm glad you brought up the fight with Juzo and number 6. Like, I completely forgot about that. But that's another thing to add to that list. And like the ending felt unsatisfied. Like, yeah, we got backstory on that one pink hair girl, and I'm just like, what's next? Why didn't we even talk about the tower, that ugly tower? We didn't even touch upon that. Why did we have that wasted episode with the comedy guy? Like, yeah, I like comedy too in my shows, but like, when you're limited to 12 episodes, each episode has to be important.
It has to count.
It has to count. And for you to do that, is like you feel like comfortable enough that you had enough on the plate. You didn't. You had no meat in that plate. So yeah, that's my number one, man. If is a season 3 announced? No. Go, David.
All right, for me, episode 1.
Your number one.
My number one.
Oh, he's excited to say this one.
Disappointing. Is ReZero second season.
What?
I saw this one coming from a mile away, but continue. Let me hear it.
Again, we're getting through the same old. I can't say it, but yeah, we're just getting the rehash of him dying, and it's so disappointing just to see this. Nothing happening. They're still in the same forest, man. They don't leave. This whole season was just that forest at this.
The sanctuary.
Yep.
The sanctuary.
Yeah,
every
the
time,
sanctuary.
dude, I was going crazy within these every week. I would always bring up Sanctuary because they always pop out Sanctuary. I'm like, oh my God, no. Like, I love this show. First season was amazing, but I didn't know they were gonna bring back the same thing again. And I was like, no. We got somewhat story, and I was like, yes, finally we're getting into something, but I still don't know his goal yet. His main goal. In general.
Oh man.
Damn it. Like I said, I don't hate the show. I'm disappointed. I'm really disappointed, and I can't see it with these guys because I talk over the show. This how upsetting this is. To a point where Rabbi ended up getting mad at me.
I did. I was super invested in the story. It was that one episode too that was like talking about Subaru's resolve. When he was with the Echidna, and I'm just like, I was feeling it in the feels, and then David was talking over it. I'm like, oh, man, why?
So this is definitely number one of disappointing.
Damn, I'm sorry that's how you feel about that anime, man.
I know. And I'm sorry to tell you guys on the podcast, we're not seeing it.
Unless you guys want us to.
Yeah, unless you guys want us to.
Yeah, there's no life too. Huh?
Hey, same thing, you know.
Same thing.
The comments, we're the people's mans.
Yeah. I feel like
we are the men of the people.
Yeah, we do it for the people. We do it for y'all. We had to suffer through Gibiate. But yeah, that concludes our disappointing animes of 2020.
Yeah.
If you guys agree, comment, or if you have other animes, say something.
Yeah, let us know. We're all ears.
What's your disappointing?
Yeah, what is your most disappointing? And with that, we'd like to conclude that section and go to the next top 5.
One that's it's all basically great from here because we wanted to get all the negative stuff out of the way. Now we're gonna push forward to stuff that we really enjoyed.
Yes.
To start things off, we're gonna go with top 5. Well, I guess to start things off with the positives, we're going to start off with top 5 video games played this year.
Yes.
This is basically any game that we just happened to play this year.
Mm-hmm.
Or I guess, from 2020. And, what stuck with us. And start things off, top number 5. This is a game I'm actually, still currently playing through right now. It's Sekiro.
Oh.
I was late on the train with when it came to Sekiro.
Yeah, that was
last year's. It was last year's game. It even won Game of the Year award.
It did, right?
Sir Vin Diesel even announced it last year's Sekiro.
The Game of the Year award goes to Sekiro.
And I didn't really bat an eye to Sekiro until I would say I would say thanks to YouTube actually. I follow a channel called Team 4-Star Plays. Mm-hmm. And they were Team 4-Star Games, and they're basically the guys that created Dragon Ball Z Abridged, and they have like a gameplay channel and everything. Shout outs to them. And they started playing Sekiro with a Krillin mod, changing the main guy to main character Krillin. It's hilarious.
Oh god.
Again, shout outs to Sekiro. Krillin plays Sekiro. And I was looking at the gameplay. I'm like, I'm pretty hooked. I'm liking what I'm seeing, and I kind of want to try it out.
Wow. So...
And thankfully Steam had a sale going on. It was at a nice discounted price, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna start this up, and I fell in love. I'm not much of a Souls guy myself. I've played through a little bit of Dark Souls 1 and Bloodborne, but same guys that made those games made Sekiro, and for some reason Sekiro just caught my attention. It might have been the ninja aesthetic, the fact that it's set in medieval Japan. I like the stories, and the gameplay is also really fun. Jumping and deflecting, all the mechanics, the posture mechanics, and everything like that. The fact that it also kicks your ass too. Like the difficulties. It takes some stuff to getting used to, but once you stick to it and everything, it's just a lot of fun. Like it really, I hate to be like that guy from IGN, but it makes you feel like you're a ninja.
Oh my god.
Stealthing up and killing people in the back. It's just so satisfying. But yeah.
I just love your origin and how you got into this game.
Yeah, I never said that.
No, you haven't. I love it, dude. I love it so much.
Yeah, and hey, I'm putting to this day, I put in about 70 hours into it. I beat the first story, I beat the first playthrough, and I want to get all the other endings to see kind of what happens. So. Oh man,
I don't know how to follow up with that, but
go for it.
For my number 5, I am also still playing this game. I just got it recently, and luckily enough, it made it to 2020. Crash Bandicoot 4.
Hey, nice.
It's about time that I talk about this.
Time.
Oh man, when I booted it up, man, it felt very nostalgic, man. It felt like back when I was a kid playing it, and just having a great time with Crash and then Coco, playing them, and then they also introduced other playable characters right now with Tanwa. I think that's her name.
Tana, yeah.
Yeah, but she has a hook. It just changes the whole gameplay, and the introductions of Max in this game, and it just changes how you used to play Crash in general. So I was like, okay, this is very cool. And I'm like, it has its pet peeves, they like to make you collect all the boxes, and I'm just like, at the end of the level, you missed that one box, and you're like,
worst.
ugh, where am I supposed to go find that? But when you do get everything, you get the whole 6 gems like in one level, you feel amazing. You're like, you get a little fist bump in the air.
Now, question: did you play Insane Trilogy like when that came out? Or?
I played the PlayStation ones. I didn't play the remake because I was like, oh, it's just the same thing.
Oh, okay.
So I have played those 3 games before, but like, you know, on the PlayStation. So
Right.
I was excited to hear that they were continuing the story, and so I was like, okay, cool. And like, I like when the Max says like, this is the 4th one, really?
No other ones?
But yeah, man, if you haven't picked it up, I think it's still on sale. It's half off for like $30. I highly recommend it. And yeah, man, just great old time. What about you, David?
For me, the game I played for number 5 on my list is Overwatch.
Overwatch, okay.
I'm still playing to this day.
After
Keeping it alive.
this year's gonna be 5 years.
Yeah, keeping it alive.
Can't wait for Overwatch 2, of course.
When is that happening?
I have no idea.
You guys in the future will know. We're stuck here in the past. We don't know.
We don't
Yeah,
know.
this game is so fun for me. Sometimes no. It's just back and forth. This is a game that I love and hate at the same time.
Yeah, we all got those games.
Yeah, that's your multiplayer choice.
Yup. So I keep coming back no matter what. So I put this on my 5.
Okay.
All right, my number 4. So I kind of put this as kind of like a collection, sort of, because like I got into this pretty much like, all right, I'm gonna go all in one. No More Heroes.
Yes, you will not shut up about it.
Yeah. So No More Heroes 1 and 2 dropped recently on the Switch, and I've always wanted to play them. I own the Wii original, but I don't want to go through the hassle of like, you know, setting up my Wii or Wii U
And your motion bar.
and the motion bar, all that stuff.
Putting some batteries.
Right, and I decided, you know what? Because I had the first game, you know, for a little bit, and I decided not to. I never played it, but then you know, since it dropped on Switch, I had a good week off, you know, for personal reasons and such. And I decided to just go for it from the first game, and I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with Travis Touchdown. I fell in love with Sylvia. I fell in love with all the characters, all the bosses you fought. I love driving around Santa Destroy and, you know, doing all the weird little mini games, mowing the lawn and the coconuts and stuff. And it's just a great old time. And just like upgrading your beam katana and everything like that. It's just great. And then the fun continues on when I booted up No More Heroes 2. It felt like I never left. 'Cause I didn't really. I literally went from No More Heroes 1 to 2. And still fun. And I loved it so much that I also decided to pick up Travis Strikes Again.
Oh my god.
And I just went ham on the whole series. They're really short games. Like, for what
they?
so what you get, like, you could beat the first game in like a matter of about 10 hours. Second game I think took me about like 13 hours, and then Travis Strikes Again was about like, you know, about 12 hours or so. So all in all, like, if you get like the 3 games like all at once, it's basically like with like 40 hours or so altogether.
So this converted you to a Travis Touchdown
Yeah,
fan.
I'm now a huge follower of the Travis Touchdown character.
Yeah.
And I'm part of the bandwagon now,
Yeah.
for, you know, if and when Travis would ever get a spot for Smash, I'm like, yeah, go for it. I want to see him charge his beam katana. Let's go.
and you know, the new one coming out.
No More Heroes 3, yeah. I'm super looking forward to it. It's coming out this year, and yeah, can't wait.
I'm excited. I'm excited for you.
Omar?
Yeah, more?
My number 4, you guys might be surprised. Doom Eternal.
Hey!
Doom Eternal. Yeah, I'm almost done with it, but just the fact of the pure experience of Doom Eternal, it's like on the next level compared to like the first Doom remake. Doom
2016.
Yeah, Doom 2016. That game was awesome. I was like, oh man, how could they up themselves with that Doom? And they did. They took it to a whole new level, and the whole like boost jumping, like just the little things that they added makes a whole difference into the gameplay. It's just every time you beat a level, you just feel like an adrenaline rush. You're like, yeah, let's go get the other one. You know? And like just every time you do a glory kill, it's just so satisfying. It's so amazing. And then when you fight the Mardar, I think. Mm-hmm. Oh, I hate that guy.
Oh, the Marauder, yeah.
I hate that guy. But it's just so much fun when you actually finish him off. You're like, yes. The sweet relief, man. It's just a great FPS, man. Honestly, like my favorite FPS of this year of 2020. And I can't wait to see how it is the end of it. It got me a little stuck, but I'll eventually get there. You know, I'll find a way. Damn it. What about you, David?
For me, number 4 would be Danmachi Memoria Freeze.
Oh.
And that is an app game.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I was.
Yeah, we were both.
For people that don't know what Danmachi is it wrong to pick up girls in the dungeon?
Yeah.
Ah.
But yeah, it's one of the app games I come to play a lot. Other than FGO, but this one's the one I play the most and put more hours on. And I really enjoy this one because you don't have to grind. No, you grind, but it's not like, oh, I gotta use money to buy a certain character. They give you enough points or enough to get the character.
Right.
So it's easier on this game compared to other gacha games where they're like, here you only have 0.000% or something.
Yeah, those odds are horrible.
Yeah, the odds are horrible. And this game is nice enough to like, hey, you'll get a 4-star,
That's
on your first pull, and then like after that your third pull will end up being your next 4 pull.
Okay.
So that's what's cool about this app game in general. Of course, the story from the anime is also on the game as well. So it is one of my favorite app games other than FGO.
Okay.
Interesting.
So this one is my 4.
I'm gonna say I did not expect that. All
right, number 3. I think you're gonna expect this one. It's Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition.
Oh man, I did see that cover.
So, I'm a huge Xenoblade guy. I love me my Xenoblade. I like my Shulks. Yeah. I like my Rhines. I like my Dunban. I even cosplayed the man in one of the years is Anime Expo, and it was just great seeing all these all my characters coming again to the Switch, looking amazing as ever.
Yeah.
Like more, because unfortunately I love Xenoblade Chronicles, the original. It was one of my favorite games of all time.
They look ugly.
Yeah, they don't look the best. And unfortunately, I was in denial of it for the longest time. I was like, no, for the time, it looks charming, but I'm sorry. Now that Definitive Edition's out, and now that I played through the entirety of it, put about 200 hours or so into it.
Beautiful.
It looks beautiful. It looks gorgeous. I can't look at the original models anymore. They don't look great.
To be fair, it was on the Wii, man. It was on the Wii.
It was on the Wii, yeah. But man, when you see like an emotional scene on the Wii, and then like you see Shulk's ugly face, it's just oh man. So yeah, it looks great here, and like the extra stuff that they added, including the future connected epilogue, is just more icing on the cake. For anybody interested in getting into Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, though, I don't recommend you just getting the game just for Future Connected. It's just an epilogue. If you're getting the game, you want to make sure you're getting it for the original, not just because, there's an epilogue on there.
The add-on.
The add-on, yeah. But,
okay.
yeah, no, all around, fantastic. Again, if you're not into if you haven't played Xenoblade, definitely give this one a shot. If you want to know where Shulk came from Smash. Amazing game. It's quality of life in general is just great on this one.
You really feeling it, huh?
Really feeling it, yeah. I'm really feeling it. Omar?
Oh, that's funny that you brought up a remake as your third one, because on my third one, it's Final Fantasy VII Remake, man.
Hey.
This game, when it came out, I could not stop playing it to a point where I took days off to finish this game. I could not. let go of the controller to continue playing. Like the way they remade it was amazing. I love how they changed the story from the original. So when part 2 comes out, I don't know what to expect at this point. So that's just amazing in itself. Obviously, everybody loves the characters. You know, you got Cloud, Tifa, Baron, all the whole group and stuff. And just watching it, beautiful, like the world being alive, Midgard, and all the sections that they're in. It's just, oh man, it's amazing. This is even points where I'm just like, man, this looks great. And the gameplay is so amazing too, man. Like it's not turn-based. But like, you know, there's nothing wrong with turn-based at all. But like when it's action, you're at that point, you feel like you're watching a movie. You feel like you're watching Advent Children.
You're playing Advent Children.
You are, man. And it's just, oh man, I love the music. I love the voice acting was on par, and it's just, God, I love this game. But yeah, it had to be number 3. Unfortunately, my other 2 just blew my expectations, but everybody knows Final Fantasy VII is like, to most people, it's the greatest game of all time. Right. So I had to give this game some love. What about you, David?
For number 3 is Shantae, 1.5 Genie Hero.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
I got done with that game like 3 months ago. I'm into the Shantae, you know, the games in general. So I'm going in order, trying to finish them all, you know, and I'm enjoying the game. I'm not that much into platforming,
Right.
but this game just got me hooked, you know. All the background and all that, you know, it's so fun, and the music in the game too is so fun. So I enjoyed the game for what it is.
So
it's not that long. It's not a long game. You could finish it like within like maybe a day or 2, depending. But you could do also run like more runs of the game. You could do a speed run and all that. They have different modes for the game, so there's, you know, it's more to play with the game.
Right.
So you said in order, like which order is this game?
This is number 4.
Okay. Because you know I know
the original was on the Game Boy, the Game Boy Color. And then the other 3 are like, you know, remakes.
Oh, okay.
Not
Interesting.
remakes of the original games, I guess. But I played them on the PS3.
All right.
Oh, I didn't know about this.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I'm learning about this first time too. I don't know much about Shantae, so.
no, I mean PS3, PS4.
Oh, okay. PS4. All right.
But yeah, that is my 3.
Hey, Shantae for Smash?
I wish. At least a skin.
Right. All right. So my number 2 pick, unlike David's pick, which, you know, you can finish in a day. This one will take about a good month. It's Persona 5 Royal.
What?
Yeah.
That's your number 2?
That's my number 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
I expected that to be your number 1. Okay, explain yourself.
So yeah, Persona 5 was a fantastic game when it came out in 2017. I also put in a lot of time into that game, beat it, everything. But this one was just an improvement on what I thought didn't really need improving. Actually, no, I'm lying. There's a good several parts that did need improving from the original Persona 5, and a lot of that is fixed here in Persona 5 Roll-Up and more. For starters, you know, I guess this kind of has to go into mechanics. You know, this is assuming you played through the original Persona 5. But they added a lot of like neat little features and stuff, little tweaks and such that you know, you thought you didn't really need, but they're all like very quality of life and changes and such. They changed a lot of different it's a lot of different like little mini tweaks on top of the bigger stuff. I could be here all day if we talk about all the tweaks and such.
But that's a symbol.
Yeah, but as far as the big changes go, they added a couple new characters in as well. They added one whole new playable character, and they added about good 2 to 3 months extra content that you could be able to play through and everything. And honestly, it's just fantastic. And like they revamped the entire like fusion system in general. The way you fuse, because in Persona you get monsters and you fuse them, and they made it more simple. They made it better, and
Thank
they also
God.
and they also added and also in terms of features that they also added kind of a theater room too, so you could be able to rewatch like cutscenes and stuff,
Oh, cool.
rewatch
Cool.
like gameplay stuff. Yeah, and they also added.
Is that actually at the theater?
No, it's actually accessible in a menu that you can kind of pop out like whenever you're in the real world.
Oh, okay.
So it's just really great, and they also just made completing the game in one go real easy too, thankfully. So if you're not the type of person to like just complete everything all like 2 playthroughs or whatever, like putting in 200-300 hours in, you don't have to. It makes finishing everything super simple, and just all around is just fun. Again, this is of course if you already like Persona 5. If you don't, this isn't gonna help. But if you do like Persona 5 and you wanted to see changes and such, your favorite characters, this is the game for you.
Oh, all right, interesting. I just myself recently picked up Persona 5 Royal, so
Nice.
very excited to hear about all that. For not my number 2, I think it's no surprise to people who are hearing the podcast. It's Hades.
Yay, Hades.
Hades.
What
man.
is that?
I'm glad you asked. It's a game that Supergiant, a very well beloved studio. They done Bastion,
Bastion, yeah.
and Pyre, and all those great games. And this game put them on the map. Honestly,
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
It got robbed at the Game Awards. No, just kidding. It did get best action, but yes, Hades. I just bought it on a whim, man. Honestly, it was on sale, and I was like, oh, I like Hades. I know Greek mythology, and this game shows me I do not know my Greek mythology. I do not know my lore of this, and it's just a great story of the life of Zagreus, of Hades himself. I was like, what they go through, like taking control of the underworld and like maintaining it. Like there's some moments where I'm just dying laughing. Like the dialogue and the voice acting in this game is amazing. It is so on par. Like you would think that with the roguelike game like this, you will run to all the voice lines. You will run like to the same actions, and which you do, but like. Once you beat it the first time, there's this system where it's called the Pack of Punishment, which is how difficult you want to make the game, and that adds so much replayability to this game. Like to this day, I am still playing it because I cannot stop playing it. Just the added elements to that little system itself is just whoo, and like the weapons you get to use. There's like I think 24 different types of weapons like that you could use and differentiate the game. The boons, like the power-ups you get along the way through your journey. The gods themselves are like either funny, hilarious, or like serious, like you're expecting like Zeus being almighty. But yeah, man, I love this game, man. This game is so amazing. If I didn't have the number 1 game, if I didn't play it, this would have been number 1, honestly. This was a big surprise to me, and I'm glad Supergiant made it. And I can't wait to see the next project. What about you, David?
My number 2 is Resident Evil 3.
Remake.
Oh, nice.
Yup, the remake.
Oh, interesting.
I really enjoyed the game. A lot of people didn't because it was short.
Yeah, it was shorter than
It was shorter than the actual original game.
Oh, okay.
And well, to tell you the truth, I don't know as much about it since I never played the original 3rd game.
Okay.
So this was new to me, I got into this game knowing a little bit about Jill, other than the first game.
Right.
And then the other games as well. But this one was mainly centered on Jill. And I really enjoyed it for what it was. I just wish it was longer. The game-wise. I still prefer Resident Evil 2 remake. Because that one was a blast.
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So this one is there. I enjoy it for what the remake was.
You like Carlos?
Oh, yeah. Apparently, Carlos was boring. He looked boring on the original.
Oh, yeah. He looked
like
super
Chris.
generic.
He
Yeah.
was like a generic white guy.
He was like a
Generic Chris clone.
he was
yeah.
he's like a palette swap of Chris, pretty much.
Yeah. And in this game, they made him a whole different character.
Yeah, he was cool. He was an interesting character. I enjoyed him when he came out.
I can't live my world without him, bro.
But yeah, this is my number 2.
Nice, cool.
Yeah.
All right, number 1.
Number 1.
Drum
all
roll,
right.
please.
It's actually something that you already said before.
Oh, I knew it.
Doom Eternal.
Oh, Doom Eternal. Wow, I can't believe it.
Yeah, Doom Eternal beat everything out. The reason being is just because, like, so all the games that I pretty much said, you know, I guess, you know, with the RPGs, Persona 5, Xenoblade, they're all very long games, obviously.
Yeah.
And there's a few times, you know, where you get the downtime and everything. You don't hardly ever feel that with Doom Eternal. When you play Doom
no, you
Eternal,
don't.
it is a kinetic blast. Like, it's legit. It's firefight after firefight, and it has meaning. It's not just you, like, big strong guy, just mowing down everybody. No, they're also, you're armed to the teeth, and so are the monsters.
Yeah,
Their
man.
monsters are also super armed to the teeth, and they will just destroy you if you're not careful.
They'll ruin your life.
Everything in regards to the gameplay, to the platforming, to like just the aesthetics, the music. Oh my god, the music is just godly.
Yeah.
It is a real shame with how Bethesda handled the soundtrack that caused Mick Gordon to leave.
Yeah.
Because what he left behind with the game was just phenomenal. The music is just amazing. It's all around. It's just expertly crafted. Honestly, like it is. I do agree with you. As far as a first-person shooter goes, this is it. This is like the cream of the crop right here, in regards to like everything. And I think my favorite part of how combat is handled in Doom Eternal is that it's not just handled like a regular, you're the guy, shoot the monster. It's handled more so like a puzzle. None of the weapons feel overpowered. You don't get that sense of, oh, just use a super shotgun.
Yeah.
That'll mow everything down.
Yeah.
You need to understand your environment. You need to understand your enemy. You need to understand what you're using, and what you're using is good against the monster.
Yeah, that's what I like about that game too. Like,
Yeah.
because in the 2016, I feel like you could have like picked 1 or 2 weapons and
Get rid of the pistol. You don't need the pistol.
Yeah, and they did.
Yeah.
they
got
did.
rid of it.
They did.
And I feel like, especially with the DLC that came out,
I haven't played it.
the Ancient of Gods DLC, it just more fun. I was honestly worried that the DLC wasn't gonna live up to the hype that was the main game of Doom Eternal, but because of the fact that Doom Eternal basically, as you play through the game, you get more abilities and such, you get all your weapons and such. Ancient of Gods, you don't have to worry about any of that. You have everything to you right
thank
there.
God.
So you start it up and you just go at it. It's like you beat the game. You beat like the first chapter of it. You go into, you get the second chapter. So it's just more Doom. It's just more Doom goodness. And we've got part 1 so far. So I'm looking forward to part 2. And yeah, that's that right there. Doom Eternal. That's my number 1 game of the year right there.
Yeah, man, that game makes you feel like a badass, bro.
It does, honestly.
All right, Omar.
All right, man. If you guys heard me in the podcast, I think you guys know what number 1 is,
Nah,
man.
we don't.
You guys don't? Well, if it's your first time
a
here, if it's your first time here, it's no surprise. Ghost of Tsushima is my game of the year, man, of 2020.
I love how that's like an analog between like my number 5 versus your number 1. It's like we both got the feudal Japan ninja samurai game.
No, yeah, man. It's just crazy, man. Sucker Punch really brought it to the table, man. Just the way they treated Jin and like the world of Tsushima itself, it's so beautiful, man. Like at one point you're riding along and you see like the waves like just gushing through the mountains, and then like you're going on ahead and you see like the snowy mountains, just like big snow, and like and you're just lost in the world. And I never felt like that in an open world game before. Like it's just like I am like you. It's like you said in the IGN guy. I am a samurai, bro. And like the story is amazing, man. Like I love how it begins too. Like you just right off the bat, you're in war. Like let's go. Like they don't do no boring story or anything.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, we're at war. Let's go. The Mongols already invaded. And it's like, all right, this is how you start a game. This is how you grab my attention, especially for being a new IP where like I don't know anything about it. That's amazing, man.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, man. I love the weapons that Jin brings, and the side characters themselves. The side story, I feel like is so important as like the main story itself, man.
Yeah.
Like you grow to love the characters the side characters and everything you do, man. Woo! I have a lot to talk about, man. It's just so much fun. The gameplay is amazing, man. The soundtrack had me in tears at one point, man. It's a game I'm never gonna forget, man. And then later on they added free DLC, which is pretty fun too, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was like for game development this big, a Sucker Punch to do a free multiplayer and like co-op, bro. Like how could this not be my top game of the year, man? It's just more love to the player itself, man. And man, that's all I gotta say, man. If I go into more, I think I might spoil the story.
All right.
What about you, David?
For me, my number one game would be Final Fantasy Remake.
Yes.
7.
Well, 2 entries from your list right there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Reasons why this was also a game that I never played ever.
The original,
This-
yeah.
The original. Yeah, the original, never played it. With Resident Evil, I played most of the games. Final Fantasy, I just played only like two games in general.
Mm-hmm.
But this game made me a fan of of the remake, I guess.
Of the world of Final Fantasy 7.
7, yeah. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoy the world. I like the fight to the government and all that.
Right,
That was
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Row, fight the power.
But yeah, I enjoyed the music. I cared about the characters, and yeah, I can't wait to see more about the story. Because I know most of my friends in general know everything about Final Fantasy, but 7, and I don't know. I haven't been spoiled yet, other than one thing, but other than that, hopefully that doesn't come true in this one.
Which one you talking about, bro?
I don't know, man. But yeah, I enjoyed the cast.
Alright.
They were all great.
All right, who's your favorite character so far?
Tifa is my
The
my
people's
favorite.
The people have spoken.
the people's waifu.
Yes. And then Cloud as well, and then Barrett, and then
Earth.
Aerith. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to see the other characters.
Oh, yeah. The other characters that come in later in the story.
I've
They're
seen
great.
some of them, if you could say, as in cosplayers.
Oh, they're going to say Kingdom Hearts.
No.
Because that would have been an acceptable answer, you know. Most of them, I think, show up in Kingdom Hearts, except
Yeah.
Red 13.
Yeah. All right.
All right, with
And
that
now
that
we
wraps
move
up the
on-
video games.
That wraps up our video games. We move on to the next category, the top 5 best anime songs of 2020. These are the songs that we hum and
We sing along to.
we sing along to. And yeah, to start things off, I'm gonna go for my number 5. It's gonna be Spark Again by
Oh,
Aimer, the
alright.
Fire Force Season 2 opening 1. I feel like, as far as the openings go, this one was just a great way to just send us back into the world of Fire Force, send us back into the world of Tokyo, and yeah, it's just a great song. It's just a great opening in general. We get glimpses of like all the new characters and stuff, and it just makes you hype. Like
Yeah.
I'm all about anime openings that make you hype, especially ones that are like sequels to like great shows. You know, Fire Force Season 1 had an amazing first opening and stuff. Season 2, it had a great song. I feel like the opening wasn't hype.
It was lackluster.
So I feel like Spark Again, the first opening of Season 2 definitely brought that energy back. It brought that energy back to kind of what Fire Force needed, and it was just all around. It was just a great time. And again, it's Aimer too.
Yeah,
you can't go wrong with Aimer.
You really can, bro. You really can. She's a gift from God.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's my number 5 pick, and yeah, Omar, what about you?
My number 5, man. For this list, this was the toughest to make, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of great songs.
There was a lot of great songs that came out this year, but the one that I had to pick was God of High School opening 1, Contradiction.
Contradiction,
Man.
yeah.
I remember when me and David we started up the anime and we just heard the opening and I told David specifically, like, play that again.
Play it again.
Play it again, man. And I remember one day at work, man, I had it on repeat all day, man. I could not get enough of this song. It's just good EDM pumpness. You know, you ready. You know, it fits the anime as well. Like, you ready to go for the next fight. Get ready for the next battle. And it's just awesome. And it also introduced me to like the people that made the song. What was it? Kise and Tyler Carter, which is the singer that sings the song, which has his own band himself. And they do great music, man. They do great music. So I'm really glad for God of High School introducing me to these artists. And that's what I always love about openings and endings. They make me introduced to artists that you wouldn't really hear, especially here in the States. So yeah, man, I'm really glad that this opening happened, and I won't be contradiction. Your turn, David.
For me, number 5. Ooh, all of these songs that I have on this list are on my playlist. But for number 5 is BNA's opening.
Ooh, that was a good one. Yeah,
I really enjoy the song a lot. So that is my favorite one for number 5.
Interesting, man.
Yep.
That's cool.
All right, number 4, I decided to go with Centimeter from Rent a Girlfriend. That's the opening for Rent a Girlfriend. And I don't know, it's just so catchy. Like, when I first heard the song, when I first saw the opening, like, it's one of those openings that kind of grow on you, and then, like, when it's on you. Like, you see that opening and you see the little dances like all the characters do and stuff. It's just so catchy.
Yeah,
it's not as phenomenal as, like, say, the Chica dance from Love Is War. That one is just a phenomenon right there. But this one right here, this one was nice. It pretty much tells you like what it's about, and it's just a great time. Like, I'm always like in a good mood whenever I put that on my Spotify and I listen to it, and it's just like, yeah, man, I can jam to this one.
I agree with you, because when I was doing my research for this list itself, that came up, and I was like, this is actually a good opening.
Yeah,
like,
it's a great opening.
I like the part where like the guy, he's like running, but he's like running in a circle.
in a kind of retweet kind of thing. Yeah. Like, it takes a lot of the conventions of, you know, kind of like what the show is about and stuff, and it does it real well. Like, kudos to the animation team to kind of, like, you know, put that on, you know, kind of construct the opening where, you know, it makes sense and everything. So
yeah, man, I believe you on that one. For me, my number 4, there was a lot of good songs, and I'm mad that I had to put this on number 4, but I had to put it on the list, man. I had to. Jujutsu Kaisen first opening, Kita-kan by Eve, man. I'm still listening to this day, man. It's so good, and I'm mad that I had to put number 4, but I was just like, I have to put this in my top 5, man. It's so beautiful. How the opening is done, like, you get hyped with the little beat it does, and you're just like, okay, let's go. And then obviously the meme itself,
Parkour Panda,
man. It's just it's such a good time just watching it and hearing it, man. And it tells you, like, honestly, the first season itself, like the whole recap of it, if you really look into it. And so yeah, man, I can't get enough of this song. And also, Eve, I never heard of this person before, and yeah, it's also great music. I have like a couple of songs from him now. What about you, David?
My number 4 is God of High School.
Oh,
OP1.
Contradiction.
Of course, you know, the opening is amazing. The song, everything, it just gets you hyped up.
It does.
Hell yeah, man.
And yeah, that is my number 4.
Yeah, my number 3 is also Contradiction.
Oh my god.
I mean, I figured we'd all have it on the list somewhere, but like.
No, yeah, bro. That's just.
It's a great. Yeah, I mean, like, I put it there because it's just super catchy. Like, if you have it on there, you just can't stop. You gotta rewind it back. You gotta, like, you know, play it again, and like, oh my god, the subtle differences too, like with because it also goes really well with the animation, obviously, of the opening itself. Like, it makes you hype. You know, despite of how the show is actually, it makes you hype. and like each episode when they move on to the second tournament and everything, you also see the changes and stuff. And how it also changes with it too. It's just that song is just so hype. It's just so amazing. And that's on my number 3.
Wow, I love how we all had that song. All right, man. I guess for my number 3, man, if you guys seen the podcast before, you know this song. It's "Keep Your Hands Off Ezoken" opening one.
Oh,
easy breezy. It was an easy pick. Man, and the opening itself, man, it's so memorable. Well, like how the girls are dancing, and like I remember a lot of people were like making like memes of it and like doing their own twist to it, and it's just good to see that. And I like the who sings this song? I think Chemico. Sorry,
Chemico, yeah.
Chemico. I'm sorry, I butchered that name, but yeah, they're awesome artists. I love the way they rap, and I've heard a couple of their songs, so they're really good. You should really check them out. And yeah, man, and in the music video is pretty funny. But yeah, man, just when watching the show and then watching it with the opening, you're in for the good time with the girls, and just see how they go on with their life and the world they're in, and it's just amazing opening. What about you, David?
For my number 3, we get an ending.
Oh,
The Great Pretender.
Freddie
Mercury.
You can't go wrong with Freddie Mercury.
Oh yeah,
and especially with his anime. I love how it ends, because you always get that the Great Pretender.
Yeah, you do.
Feel the empowerment of that song.
It's a really fitting song, honestly.
Yeah, it's like a perfect fit. They knew what they were doing.
So that is my number 3.
All right.
Number 2 for me is another song that, again, just like Centimeter, that was kind of needed to grow on me, but it was there. Even more so than Centimeter. It's Daddy Daddy Do.
Oh,
from
man.
Love is War Season 2.
I'm so glad someone put that on the list, man. I wanted to so badly, but I was like, there's so many good songs.
There is, yeah. And I just, again, it was one of those songs that I'm like, when I first heard it, I'm like, oh, man, this isn't Love Me, Mister. This one is, Daddy Daddy Do. Yeah. It's like a song that it tells a story. It legit, I didn't realize this when I first saw it, but when I saw the opening, it literally told the story. It literally tells the story of of Kaguya making lunch for Shirogane, and how she flubs it up, and it's oh yeah, it's all worked out in the end. It was just such a great song. It's so catchy, and again, it's done by the same artist, Masayuki Suzuki, who at first, when I first heard of him, I had to look up all of his other songs and stuff. He's just a great singer in general, and oh my goodness, it's just a great opening.
Yeah,
I love
he also
it.
did the first one.
He did, yeah. I still prefer the first one, but man, this one's up there.
No, I agree with you. You had to sleep on it to really appreciate it.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm so glad you picked it, man, because
it's an E-worm too.
I really wanted to put it on my list, but for my number 2. You already covered it. It's Fire Force.
Fire Force.
Opening 2, man. Spark Again by Aimmer.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, she's a gift from God, man. Every time I hear her sing, she's just amazing. And just it's like you said, I'm just basically taking off of you. The opening makes you hype. Especially, it was good to come back to to the opening. He's like, all right, what's in store for us for the Fire Force team, and yeah, man, that's all I really gotta say. It's on loop on my playlist. And I every time Aimer shows up in an anime, I'm always excited to hear. What about you, David?
For me, number 2, Keep Your Hands Off My Ezoken.
Easy breezy.
Easy breezy, yup.
Was it also an easy pick?
Yes. I listened to this religiously.
Yeah, man.
So I really enjoyed the song in general. That's why it's on number 2.
Yep.
And should we say this out all at once?
Oh,
for number 1?
Our number 1?
I feel like it's all one thing.
I think so too.
We can talk amongst each other.
You might as well. All right. Lost in Paradise, number 1.
Yes, man.
Is it on your guys' too? Okay,
Yeah,
we
it
didn't
is.
see our list.
Jujutsu Kaisen.
Ending
one.
Lost in Paradise.
It is. It is a gift from God. This ending right here. It's
the ending was so amazing. The whole animation too was all cool. You know, it's like a day-to-day kind of thing. What they would do and stuff.
Yeah,
that was cool.
It's so good that like I've seen parodies of it done. Like my favorite one being the JoJo one.
Yeah.
And it's just it
they
still looks
one,
great.
They did one for Bleach too.
They did.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And they did one for Chainsaw Man. Like it's just It's great. It's great. It's just amazing.
No, man. Like honestly, like this band, Ellie, they did the song for Beastars.
They did.
That opening's also amazing. So they're on a roll. They're on fire right now with like comes to their anime openings. So. Yeah, man, especially when Gojo comes in, bro. Oh, man, bro. I can't help but...
He brings in the swag.
Yeah, you can't help but smile after that, man. It's just...
This is a good dancing song.
It is, man. It is so good, man.
It's a shame that this is an ending theme, but then again, like you said, you know, the opening theme is also great, too.
Yeah, man. Like, I hate that I have Jujutsu Kaisen, like, both opening and ending on my top 5, but I just had to, man.
Yeah.
I had to, man. Like, if there was like a rule, I would have put Daddy Do, but yeah, man, the end is so amazing. I'm never gonna forget it. It's like, it's one of those endings you don't skip. Yeah. And with that,
we move on to our next category. The top 5 anime of the year.
Oh damn, the big one.
We got in the big guns.
Oh man. We'll see what's on our list.
All right, so I guess I'll top things off. Number 5 for me, I picked Great Pretender.
Oh, okay.
I think Great Pretender was a fantastic show all throughout. There was it made you love the characters, you know, Makoto, and how he's just a basic con artist that is basically conned into joining Laurent's group of con artists that con the big boys, and you just get fascinated with like all the different antics, the soundtrack, and all, you know, in general is just amazing. Mm-hmm. And again, to top things off with the ending theme, also the Great Pretender.
Yeah, it just fits it so well.
It does fit well, and like you want to know like what the characters are up to, the hijinks they do, and like I think the fact that like the anime is segmented into cases is brilliant.
Yeah.
Like especially for this type of show.
Yeah.
And like with Studios also, you know, they brought in their A game, and this is the main reason why they didn't work on Attack on Titan, I feel, was because they worked on this show.
And I'm really glad.
Yeah.
I think it's such a great anime.
So much kinetic energy, and it honestly, like this type of anime, you don't get to see like all too often at all. It really gave me like, you know, big Cowboy Bebop vibes, or like, you know, Bakano vibes. It just has that nice jazzy style to it.
Yeah, very stylish, especially like what they do with the backgrounds.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, the backgrounds. I love the character art and like the music, the animation, everything is just mwah.
Oh,
it's
man.
a nice perfect blend. All right, and then you want more?
This might piss off David. My number 5 is actually ReZero second season. Let me just explain.
I said I don't hate.
No, I know.
It's just disappointing.
I know, but I just had a different take on it. I thought I was also gonna hate it after the first episode. I was like, man,
no, you just hated it for a character.
Hey, Rim's life, all right. But later throughout the show, I kind of switched sides with Echidna.
Echidna shows up.
Echidna's for life, bro. I mean, this show, I think it did something that I've never seen, where like is go into a character very deep, and like into like what he's thinking, into what he's doing is right or is it wrong, and how he got there into that world. Because like for the longest time, it was like how did he get this power of I'm talking about Subaru.
Yeah.
How did he get this power? Like when he dies, he restarts.
Yeah, the death reset. Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was very interesting. Like, you know, his parents and like the trials that he went through as well. It's just, I think it was very well done.
It really fleshed him out. Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's just like it was crazy. I like the new characters they introduced. Garfield, he was pretty funny. And there was points like Sanctuary was kind of annoying, but I think it needed to be done so we flesh out with Echidna, and like her whole reason of what she's doing, and especially like the introduction to the witches and the 3 monsters that Subaru has to overcome. Like that rabbit scene really scarred me, man. Well, like I'm not going into detail, but yeah, it's like Monty, yeah,
Monty Python.
Monty Python. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Monty
Like
Python.
that rabbit. Just imagine that times 100.
Oh god.
Hey, give it to the people to find out, man.
Yeah, man.
What happened?
No, yeah, man. It's just.
Spoilers.
Oh, my bad. Anyways, getting part 2. So yeah, man. I can't wait for that. And that's my 5. What about you, David?
For me is Zeisoken.
Oh,
Hazelkin, alright.
All right, interesting.
I really enjoyed the show. It gave me the vibes of Ed, Ed and Eddie, but in school. And yeah, the whole show was really enjoyable. You know, you get to meet these 3 girls, and you see their three sides, because they're all 3 of the girls are different. They have, each of them have problems, but they all work together, and that's what I love about this show.
Yeah.
It's episodic, but every episode was always interesting, because you always see into their minds of what, you know, of whatever adventure they have, and that's what I like about it. The world itself looks amazing. I love the art style from it too, and yeah, I really enjoyed this show.
All right,
And
man.
that's why it's on my 5.
Alright, now my number 4 is also Don't Touch My Hazelkin.
Oh my god. Okay, I'll say too. My number 4 is also Ezoken.
Is it?
Both of you guys.
Alright,
Yeah.
so I guess we can converse with
Yeah.
each other. Alright, so yeah, Don't Touch My Hazelkin. So this was an anime like Jibiate, was one that I was telling the guys, oh man, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah.
And the one person for this anime that caught my attention, who also directed another anime that's like in one of my favorites, Kaiba, is Masaki Yuasa. He is the director for, again, Kaiba. He's the director for Tatami Galaxy. He's a director of many other films as well. He also directed, fun fact, he also directed Japan Sings 2020. So
okay.
crazy that Mad Lad directed 2. Oh, he also directed Devil May Cry Baby. But yeah, Mad Lad directed 2 shows pretty much back to back in the same year.
Both great shows.
Both
honestly.
great shows. Unfortunately, I couldn't fit Japan Sings in my list, but spoilers, I guess. But no, Don't Touch My Hazelkin was just so great. Like I love the characters. I love the character dynamics between our three main protagonists. I love the bits where they make the anime, like they show the styles and everything. Like I know the main criticism for that, I guess, you know, comes from the fact that they're just saving on budget, but I think they're missing the point, because they're showing us their imaginations when they make the sound effects, you know, when the voice actresses make their own sound effects and everything. It's meant to give us that feel of wonder. It's meant to give us the feel of their imagination coming forth to life.
Yeah, because they're still kids, so like when they're imagining ahead, like you get the sound effects, like it feels very genuine. Like like this is what's going on in her head, and we're in her world now.
Yeah.
And I love those scenes, especially like I won't go into depth, but like there's a scene where like she explained to the girls, like, this is what I really want in this scene, and then they're like debating. It's like, no, that won't fit, you know. And just the plot, the story is amazing, man. Like there's one scene in particular where like when they reveal their project, it's just, oh my god, I can't forget about it, man. It's just like no spoilers, but like it's so like well done.
It is, yeah.
But yeah, man, that's just, and yeah, like the art's amazing.
Yeah.
And just like
It's a really fun show.
yes,
The character designs, I also want to like just close things off. The character designs are also like very real. Like they feel like, not only because of the fact that they're drawn like super cartoony and everything like that, but it's a style that I don't ever see. Where instead of like drawing like, you know, super attractive like, you know high school characters and stuff, you know, you get like little goblins or like and they're very expressive.
Yeah, the little imperfections, but that's what makes them good characters. Makes them very human.
I agree.
Yeah, so that's me and Robbie's number 4.
That's our number 4, yeah. What's your number 4, David?
My number 4 is Great Pretender.
Oh, wow.
That's interesting. Okay.
That's awesome.
I love the whole journey with our main protagonist. He was for me. I really enjoyed him. He was a fun dude, and Makoto. He went through like tough. A lot of things happened to him through his life.
Emotional roller coaster.
That roller coaster went all the way to the end of the show itself.
Oh yeah, that finale.
Yeah. Felt sorry for him at points, but I love the show itself. I love the case by case, and I like how they show us how everything got to that point. And that's what was interesting of the show. Like, they're like, oh, how did they get to that point, or how is that leading to that, or and then that's what made the show enjoyable.
Right.
The rest of the cast were fun, enjoyable too. Even the side characters came. I don't want to go into more, but yeah, the side characters are enjoyable too. But yeah, this whole show was a blast, and I wish there's more like this.
I know. I absolutely agree.
Hopefully, we'll get a second season.
Ooh, especially.
Hopefully, we don't know.
Not gonna spoil anything.
Who knows? I don't know. Hey. Who knows?
Who knows?
All
right. Number 3. So this one is it's technically not over, but I feel like with the last episode we saw, it had nice finality to it to kind of warrant it being kind of sort of considered a first season of sorts. Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh wow.
Is my number 3 pick.
Really?
Yeah. I really again. I know we've been praising Jujutsu Kaisen for its music. But the show itself is great. It's just a pure and utter blast. It is again, to give a little background on what Jujutsu Kaisen is. It's a Shonen Jump series manga that got animated into an anime that's handled by Studio Mappa, and Mappa just they blew it out of the park. Mappa, and the crazy thing, Mappa is usually known for doing very CGI oriented shows. A lot of Inuyashiki, Dororo, the new Attack on Titan season. They have a lot of CGI, which they do a good job with their CGI for what they do.
I like to say.
But for Jujutsu Kaisen, they actually decided to stay more traditional and implement CG whenever sparingly possible. And the finished product is just amazing. The animation of the impact, it has so much style, and when you see the curse effects that come from their hands, it looks so great. The characters, oh my gosh, it's just so much to gush about when it comes to talking about Jujutsu Kaisen. It is just a blast, and thankfully, we still got it's still a carryover, but the only reason why I decided to put this in is because that last episode, it kind of felt like
it's kind of
finality.
It's kind of a season.
Yeah, in a sense, it's more of
its
own
season.
season.
Yeah, there's a nice treat that we get more.
It is a very nice treat. It's a very nice introduction. I'm super invested. I love the characters. I love the concept of kind of how Yuji, the main character, kind of comes to be. And it's just a lot of fun. I love all the characters in this anime, including the villains as well. They're super fun to hate.
Yes, I like to say so. Yeah,
that's my number 3. Omar.
You guys all had in your list. Great Pretender. My number 3. Yeah,
5, 4, 3.
Yeah, bro. It was just an amazing ride with this show. And honestly, this is the show. It went with us throughout the whole year. And if you guys wanted to jump in, it's on Netflix. You guys are lucky enough to binge it all.
You guys get to binge everything.
Yeah, so you guys don't have to wait like us. But yeah, man, Makoto, Laurent, Abby, the whole cast, crew, man, it's just you love them all, man. You love hearing their backstories. You love their actions they do. Some of them you don't agree, but then later on you're like, oh, that's why he or she did that. That makes sense. And the way they always pull off their heists, it's just that makes sense. Even though some of them are like, I don't know, Chief. But yeah, man, it's just a great old time, man. like we all said it. We highly recommend this show, man. And that's just my 2 cents on it. Yeah, that's my number 3. What about you, David?
My number 3 is Princess Connect Redive.
Yay.
Man, I wanted to put that on my list,
Oh,
man.
I know, same here.
I really enjoy this show for what it is. To me, the number 1 app game or game in general that
Got an anime.
like really good. It's a really good adaptation to the source material.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And they made it fun and enjoyable, you know?
Yeah,
Not like
It
other-
helps.
Not like other app games that have, their shit.
Yeah, it helps. It helps that the director of Konosuba also directed
yes.
this too.
Yeah.
that was the icing on the cake
That
right
was
there.
the
Yeah,
icing on the cake for that. That's why I really love this show.
Yeah.
And we're getting a second season.
We are, yeah.
are.
We're gonna be
Yes.
covering this because
Yeah. I'm
so
it's
happy.
it's a favorite of ours.
Yeah, man.
That and also the game as well. We're
yeah,
getting.
coming to the States.
Global.
Stateside, baby.
Can't wait now.
All great things for Princess Connect. Yeah, man. Caught me off surprise, man.
Yep. So
Yeah.
that's my number 3.
All right, now my number 2. I feel like we've all talked about this at one point, but for different reasons. It's ReZero Season 2 for me is my number 2 anime.
Oh, wow.
Now, okay, to add more on to, because a lot of it is basically, actually no, it's a combination of what you two said actually.
Okay.
But for David, the disappointing thing about him, what disappointed him, actually added on more for me. Because even though, Sanctuary, but I feel like this season in particular, instead of us going forward, we're stewing in kind of what we're already familiar with, which is of course the Sanctuary, and that gives us more in-depth insight on who Subaru is as a character.
Yeah, exactly.
His inner demons, in a sense, that sort of got touched upon on the first season, but never really explored until this season came about. And just the bravery it took to just not really off our fan favorite like Rem, but basically keep her in stasis throughout the whole season. Like, that was a ballsy move. At first, I'll say this right now, I did mention this in the podcast previously,
Alright,
but
hold
I wasn't.
on, before you continue, I don't hate the show.
No.
No.
Because you guys are making me
No.
I'm throwing
No.
this under the gut. I don't hate the show. I'm just tired of the same location.
Yeah, no,
That's
and
the
that's
thing,
why I'm
the
saying
main thing.
that was. I know, that's why I'm saying this like as a flip around. That's what I liked.
Yeah.
This was an aspect, and this is the reason why I put it on my list, because it is different, and it is trying to do something in regards to like not letting us progress in time.
Yeah.
But I feel like everything in general has a point to it, and with that first opening, when that first episode hit, I like Omar, I wasn't a big fan of it.
Yeah.
But as things unfolded more, and we got to learn more about Subaru. We got to learn more about the mob beasts and like the witches in general. Like, we got a lot of insight about the witches. Like, I'm super invested. This was like high up there, by the end of this first part. And when that second part hits, I'm gonna be there. I'm super on board, and I cannot wait to see kind of like what happens with Subaru. And yeah, it was just a great time. Again, Echidna is also a fantastic character too. I cannot wait to see like more on about all these characters. And then this is great time. That's why it's on my number 2.
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. My number 2. It was tough to put 1 and 2 together. These could easily flip, but this is my number 2. Kaguya-sama, Love is War, second season, man. That, man, I thought
That's your number 2?
that's my number 2. Yeah.
That's my number 2.
Oh, damn, bro.
I'll join you with this one.
Yeah, man, because I don't know how they're going to top out first season, man. It's just like the comedy was on point. We had the Chica dance, and like all these characters was so memorable. Like, it was episodic at points in the first season. Like, you were like, it's just a comedy and gag. And the second season brought it to the next level. with like the story.
Oh no, it was hilarious.
Yeah, that's
the comedy on this one was off the roof. I thought it was not gonna.
There was no way they could top the first one. Yeah.
No, exactly.
It got us laughing. One episode, I think, what was it, episode 6 or I'm not sure, but we were laughing like completely.
I was
We
like
were
dying. I was dying at one
Yeah.
point. Yeah, man. It's just like they really stepped their game up, like with the comedy, with the animation, and with the story.
Oh, but wait, that was an episode that got to us. They got sad too.
Yeah,
did.
man.
When they talk about Ishigami, oh man.
Yeah, no spoilers, but yeah.
But to that one, whew,
Yeah, man. I'm just like
they could do it, man.
This show brought everything. This show made me laugh. This show made me cry in 2 different ways. And I just love the characters, man. You really want to see Kaguya and Shirogane just like be together. Damn it! Why won't they be together? And in this season we didn't get less Chica, but we got less Chica. But whenever she came in, it was always a delight to see. But yeah, man, that's me. And
I enjoyed the new girl too.
Miko?
yeah,
Miko.
she was
She was
cool.
a cool
She had her
addition to
moment too. I feel like in this season, everyone had their moment. Like whoever's in that room had their moment, and that's like, I gotta give recommends to that, man. It's like a lot of animes, whatever side character they get, they're either like a one note off or just. Only the MC gets the screen time, and this one is like everyone gets screen time. Everyone gets their own episode, and that's just amazing. And the announcer is also amazing.
Oh, the announcer is a regular.
So yeah, man. You got any more to add, David?
No, that was pretty much
Yeah,
it,
so that's me and David's number 2, man. So, big drum roll for our number 1 anime. So what is it, Robbie?
You know what's funny? If you flipped it around, you could have been in my spot.
Oh man,
that's my number 1. Kaguya-sama season 2, like Love Is War season 2.
Yeah,
that's my number 1, and of course everything that you guys said, absolutely true. It's brilliant. It's a matter of, how do you top the brilliance of season 1?
Yes, exactly.
I honestly, I was scared when I was going into season 2. I was scared. I was I don't know what they're gonna do, but man, the goofs, the gaffs, the gags, the characters, everything was just so on point. Pretty much every single episode in this show will elicit a strong reaction for the better, right? So all the jokes they hit, and the funny thing and the great thing about this anime is that when we saw it, there was no English dub. There was no English dub for the first season.
No,
or the
yeah,
second
it was
season
surprising, man. It was surprising as hell.
Yeah, and a lot of the crutches when it comes to anime, that comedy, especially comedy anime, that has a primarily Japanese voice dialogue, is that a lot of the jokes will just kind of go over the English speaking's head. But this one, it transcends that language barrier so beautifully that you're watching everything happening, like the shoujo manga scene, like the scene where they're it's just so good.
Yeah, you guys should watch it.
Yes.
Watch it.
Both seasons.
Both seasons.
Yes,
It
both
is a combo
seasons.
deal.
Yes.
And if you can, own it physically. Just have it right there. Have it in your library, looking at you as you look at it.
Buy the figurines.
Get Chica. That's my number 1. All right, Omar, I want to hear, which one did you try to flip flop between Kaguya and this one?
I mean, you had it in your list, man, but it was tough. It was so tough that like I said, it could either be either 1 or 2. It's Jujutsu Kaisen, man.
No, we didn't flip. It had to be up there for us.
Yeah.
It's also.
Oh my god! All right, I guess it's me and David, man. Just. Oh my god, Jujutsu Kaisen just blew my mind, bro.
It did.
Literally the first episode, I knew this show was this is gonna be the show. This is the one. The fight scenes, the animation, the comedy.
Oh, the comedy is also really good too.
Yes, they bring everything to the table.
The
Yes, so everything that Love is War
Sadness,
does,
man.
like Jujutsu does as well, and it's just so
But
good.
coming from an action.
Yes, coming from a shonen, man, it's just like
Within 12 episodes, they gave us all of that. Compared
Yes.
to all of the other shonen.
yes, exactly, man. It's just like I can't wrap my mind. It's like this was amazing, man. Like and I'm really glad we're getting leftovers.
I really enjoyed this show for what it is, man. I love the stories for each little part, I guess, from because it feels like an episodic, but it's also continuing.
Yeah,
the episodic.
especially like in the midway, like
Yeah.
they had that arc with you know, I won't say.
Yeah.
This really gives me like I didn't mention it before when I had it on my number 3 thing, but it really gives me like early Bleach vibes, which is a good thing because I love early Bleach,
Yeah, 'cause
and this hits all those notes so well.
Yeah.
like Ravi said on his half, that the characters are enjoyable and the villains, you hate them.
You love to hate
love
him.
to
You love to hate
You
them.
love to hate him, bro.
Damn.
Like
That's the one scene in the restaurant. Damn.
oh.
there was a lot of scenes like that.
There's so
too.
many
Just,
scenes.
Oh, damn. You felt sad for
Some- yeah, those
those scenes in general.
You're like,
Whenever it came to the villains, you're like, why?
hey man, but that's how you know that's a good villain, man.
Not only him, but the other ones too that appeared.
Oh yeah.
And then of course, Gojo.
Oh man, that's if we were doing a top 5 husbandos, bro, that's number 1, bro.
That's the man right there.
That's a beautiful man, boy.
Damn, he powerful.
Yes, he's
Damn.
powerful and cocky, and he knows it, and he does it with so much finesse, and while teaching. So yeah, man, if you haven't watched this show, you do yourself a favor, watch this show, and
It's still going.
it's still going. Be on the ride with us when we cover Jujutsu Kaisen, man. But yeah, man, that's our top 10 animes of 2020, man.
Top 5.
Top 5.
Oh yeah, top 5. My bad. I'm lost at words.
And now we move on to our last category, what we were looking forward to in the future.
Oh, then Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, can't put that on there. It's still going.
Are you sure about that?
What?
It's our top 5 most.
What do you mean?
This is our top 5 most anticipated anime of, I guess that's the future.
Yeah.
Presumably 2021. Number 5 is for me is Eden Zero.
That's
really?
also mine.
Ah! We can talk about it then.
Interesting.
All right, so Eden Zero. For those of you guys who don't know, Eden Zero is made by the same man, Hiro Mashima, who also made Rave Master and more famously, Fairy Tail. This is his latest work, his latest manga that I read a couple volumes of, just to kind of get myself familiar with the lore and the characters and everything. And from what I've seen, it looks pretty cool. Looks really great, and this is the reason why it's on my it's just on my number 5. It's because I'm not too familiar with the story or anything or at all, but I'm on the ride. I'm on the ride, and I'm super looking forward to like when this anime hits. I want to see how it does differently to Fairy Tail. I'm hoping that because one of my criticisms with Fairy Tail when it comes to the anime adaptation to the manga, that they heavily tone down the violence.
Oh,
From
really?
the manga, yeah. Like when you see like blood in the manga, you don't see that in the anime.
Oh,
the
yeah.
anime has none of that at all. It is so clean
Mm-hmm.
for the wrong reasons. So I'm hoping when this gets an anime, they don't go down that route. That's what I'm hoping for.
I like the fact that it's not towards magic, but more like
It's more in the future.
futuristic.
It's more in
kinda
space.
Space, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
I like that too, and I like the characters. I know you can obviously tell that like a lot of these designs, it's so good. Some of these designs are reused.
Yeah,
but I
of
like
course.
the concept of the space mechanics and like time traveling and everything like that. It's a good thing, I guess. Good show. I guess we're looking forward to.
All right, I guess it leaves me out. I did not put that in my top 5. But my number 5 is Springen, Netflix.
Yeah.
Netflix, one of the Netflix animes. I thought it was cool. It looks interesting. I like the whole, it's CG, but it looks clean. It looks cool, and I can't wait to see more. Just see what they go with it, and yeah, man, we'll see what it brings to the table. I have no idea about it, so
We just have a trailer to go off.
Yeah.
That's
yeah. So this one's very short for me. So
All right, now we move on to our number 4s. It's Promised Neverland season 2.
Oh,
This one's
okay.
literally right on the horizon.
Yeah.
And Promised Neverland season 1 was a trip.
yeah,
It was a trip. It was. I mean, I guess a good way to sum it up is Chicken Run.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I can't believe you made that reference.
I had to.
Oh
I had to.
Oh my god.
But now it's no longer the case because now that season
They're
2's
on
on
the
the
run.
horizon, they're
Yeah.
on the run.
Yes. Now they're running.
This is past the ending of Chicken Run. So
Oh my god.
where do we go from there? That is what I'm super looking forward to. I want to know what happens now. Now that we don't have that setting anymore, the kids are on their own,
Yeah.
and what are they gonna come across? Who's gonna die? Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's again, this is another show just like Jujutsu Kaisen that was based off a Shonen Jump manga, and
This one's like so different too. Like
It is,
the
yeah.
Shonens. It's like crazy.
I have an inkling of a feeling that either this season or if they make an upcoming season might end it because the manga ended already. So
Okay. We'll see.
who knows?
We'll see.
We'll see. Omar?
My number 4. This is a weird pick when I had it on my list, but there's a good reason why I picked it. The Way of the House Husband.
Ooh.
Yes.
That was
At first, I was not that interested, but I was talking to a friend of mine, and he really convinced me about it. He says the most funniest thing he's ever read, and the premise itself, I think, is very cool. Ex Yakuza member,
Yakuza, yeah.
Yakuza member, becoming a house dad. So I can't wait to see what kind of comedy and antics they develop, or like the plot itself. Like, is the Yakuza after him or something?
Yeah, he's like, you gotta come back to the family.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I got my own family.
exactly. And I can't wait to hear that kind of comedy in this show. So also on Netflix. So we'll see. What about you, David?
My 4th one is the World End Harem.
The World End.
So that one's about basically technically what the title is.
All right.
Alright.
So I guess there's some type of virus that kills like I forgot what the premise was, but it was like 99% of the males are gone.
Oh, so it's like Reverse Lisa.
Yeah. So there's like only like 5 dudes
Yeah.
in this whole entire world. And it's pretty crazy how this show's becoming an anime.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this. I read into it a bit too. I read the couple volumes too. So I'll see what happens with this. See if we watch it
interesting.
as a group.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Very interesting.
All right, and my number 3 anticipating anime is another second season to another Shonen Jump manga based anime, Dr. Stone.
Oh wow.
I love the first season, and unlike with Promised Neverland, Dr. Stone was a longer first season. It was like a good solid 24 episodes instead of 12 episodes like Promised was. And I'm hoping that this one's gonna be the same thing too, like it was with the first season of Dr. Stone. And we get more insight on like how the whole Stone War is gonna work.
Yeah.
The next conflict.
Very excited.
I just love. Okay, so I know a couple other YouTubers might have talked about this, but like I'm more interested to like how the concept of like all the inventions work,
Yeah.
rather than the fights itself. Because the fights are great, but I'm more in it for like the characters, and I'm more in it for like the inventions. I love the unique different inventions that like that Senku has to make.
Yeah,
with
man.
like a lot of leaves and like dust and stuff.
And like the way he explains things, like you're like that makes
That was
sense.
funny.
Yeah, you got Robo Senku. It's like, hey, this is how it's works. Like, I'm native. I just want more of that. like I said, I like the characters. Like the concept is, in general is just, it's just beautiful, and I can't wait to have more of that. That's my number 3.
Nice, cool. My number 3. I'm basically hearing it from hype. I cannot stop hearing about this particular anime that just got announced that was getting one. Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man. I've heard nothing but good things from the manga. People can't stop talking about it, and the premise is just interesting. A guy that's a chainsaw. What more do I need to explain? And I hope it's good. This could be my replacements too. No Guns Life.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see what it brings to the table. I don't know who's doing it, but
Nappa.
This changes everything. But yeah, this is I can't wait to see what it brings to the table, man. What about you, David?
Talked about it earlier on my top 5 animes, but Princess Connect. Season 2.
All right.
And I'm not gonna continue. I already talked about it.
We talked about this extensively.
Nice, man.
So yeah, that is my 3.
Yeah, and then now we move on to 2s. My number 2 anime I'm looking forward to is Nagatoro. Yeah, this is a manga that I've been keeping up with. That a lot like Komi, that I've been anticipating for an anime for, which unfortunately Komi has yet to get here an announcement. But at least I got the second best thing
That would have been
out of
number
that.
one.
But for me, Nagatoro, that's still really great. I'm a huge fan of the manga, huge fan of the characters, and I'm just really hoping that the anime and the anime is handled well, so that way the other boys will appreciate my love for the character. As I hope that they also get to join in on that as well.
I'm gonna give it a 3.
He's already rating it.
No, because it has a similar kind of thing to
Komi?
No, the other
Uzaki?
yeah.
Oh. Right.
Dang,
It had a similar premise. Similar. I'm not saying
similar.
you're putting bad blood on it already.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I'll say this right now: the whole thing with Nagatoro is not as mundane. There's actually progression and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, I'm gonna say this to you right now, David. I would compare Nagatoro more to Komi than I do with Uzaki. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because I feel like Uzaki is just way too tame. Like Nagatoro definitely does add more to it, and I feel like the characters are just more likable in that sense.
Interesting.
That's all I have to say, because we
we'll,
all we have is a poster, and that's all I say. We don't have a trailer.
We'll have to see.
Yeah.
You already talked about it, man. For my number 2, Dr. Stone Wars, man.
Yeah.
I love Senku, man. He was a character I thought I'll get annoyed by real quick, but they fleshed out that character. They gave him some real human emotions throughout the show. And the side characters are funny.
I'm hoping Taiju comes back.
Me too, man. But yeah, man. And this war, I can't wait to see what they're gonna use in this war. Like we have one side that has Senku.
They got a phone. They got a smartphone.
No, but when you really think about it, that's super smart though. Like communication is key. So I can't wait to see how how they're gonna use the phone. And when you have the other side where they have the JoJo character, the JoJo villain,
Bucciolati, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So I'm really excited to see what this season of Dr. Stone has to bring. What about you, David?
Love is War season 3.
Oh, what? That got announced?
Yeah.
What?
I blanked out. I didn't know.
What?
Too late now. I can't put it on my list.
I would have put that on my top 5, man. Well, missed opportunity.
Can't wait. We talked too much about this show, so can't wait.
Yeah, we've been splurging all over this one. Now move on to number 1.
Number 1, drum roll, please.
Oh, you talked about it already. It's Chainsaw Man. But no. But this is on the inside of somebody. I know of Chainsaw Man because I've finished it.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. I've quote unquote finished it because this was part 1 that I finished. The manga is continuing for a second part 2, which is also known as the school arc. But anyway, the anime is obviously gonna cover the public security arc, which is again, fantastic. And I love the fact that Mappa's doing it because the blood and gore in Chainsaw Man needs to be properly represented. And I feel like Mappa are the guys to do it, especially on their work with Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah.
Having them be on the reins for Chainsaw Man is like it's perfect.
Yeah.
If I were to have like a different studio to like maybe handle it, I know this would never happen, obviously, but maybe Trigger. Or the Trigger never ever does stuff like this ever. I know, manga adaptations or probably also Wit. But no, Mappa is fantastic though. Mappa I feel like is the most well suited studio for the job for adapting Chainsaw Man anime, and I'm super duper excited that this is happening. And I think it's slated to come out either in spring or summer. So we're gonna be getting this in this year. This current year. So I cannot wait.
Yeah, man, that's the talk of the town in the anime world. But yeah, man, I'm also looking forward to it. But my number one, you also talked about it. Promised Neverland second season, which is literally, next week. Honestly, we're gonna talk about it. But yeah, man, it caught me off guard, man. Like the kids and how they acted and just the world that they set up. I thought I would get bored instantly, but no, man, it was very intense for like suspenseful kind of way, and you really wanted these all the kids to get out. Not all of them did, but they majority of them did get out, and then I want to see what's next now that they're out of the wall, and then that scares me. But that also excites me in a way, like, ooh, I can't wait for next week, man. What about you, David?
Well, I'm gonna still count this as a second season, right? Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, right? Interesting.
All right, that's pretty creative there.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh,
Can't
man.
wait.
Yeah, man.
Can't wait.
Dang,
I can't wait.
You got us off guard, man.
Yes. Can't wait for the show.
And we've also splurged all about this
Yeah,
show
yeah,
already
yeah.
through the songs and the show itself. So nothing much else to talk about here.
Yeah, man.
And I guess with that we wrap up this week's Anime Squad podcast episode. Again, it's a special episode, a little very, very different than what we usually do. But I feel like we were able to get more intimate with you guys, and as well as the stuff that we super are into.
And from these five topics, or five top fives, give us your top five.
I'm super interested to see like what you guys think. What are your guys' top 5 games you guys played? If you guys play games, hopefully you guys do. Top 5 anime, anything.
Or any of the categories.
Yeah. Man. I mean, if you like to hear more stuff like this, like leave a comment, be like, I like this stuff more. If you guys could do more.
And extra points if you guys actually have Jibiate as one of your top 5 anime. I'm gonna say this right now.
No, I doubt that. I will bet money that is no one's top 5.
All right, and now with that, we conclude this week's podcast episode. Be sure to like the video, comment the video, and subscribe if you guys like our stuff. And like always, my name is Robbie.
And this is Omar.
And this is David.
And see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.